flowers, just buds right now. This one is already flowering and has buds on it as well. It is on sale today for $49.95. If you have never owned a gardenia before, the fragrance is heavenly. It's the basis for many perfumes. It's like no other flower or plant. I mean, listen, I love roses. My favorite is actually lilac, probably followed by orange blossom, and third for me is gardenia. Those three are just absolutely magical. You have these swirling, pure white petals. And by the way, butterflies love gardenias. You have the deep green foliage, and you can use, you can have these indoors and out. They do love sun, but you know, if you live up north, you're not gonna wanna leave these out in the cold, cold weather, but they will grow anywhere in the United States, okay? And they will live for years and years and years. To me, Rochelle, I mean, if you can only own one plant tree, own a gardenia. I mean, it's worth it.
Hello?
Yeah, you there?
Oh, here I am.
We got
there
you.
they are. Can you hear me?
I just said if you could own any tree or plant / tree, get yourself a gardenia because it's so worthwhile.
Oh yeah, I mean, as a patio tree, something that you're going to plant on in a container. For sure, you want to put this in a container. Unless you're down in Florida, you could plant this in the ground, but it has to be a place where you're never going to get frost because these don't like the frost. But so you're going to have them. They're going to come like this, in bagged up in a container. All you want to do is take them out of the container. They've got this nice root ball. I've got a 16-inch pot here. That's what I'm going to end up transplanting it back into, which is, going to give it substantially more root space, which is what you really want to make sure they have. That's going to help the plant. It's going to help it to throw out a bigger head of flowers. The plant itself wants to have more root space, but it's also going to help you because these are heavy feeders. You're going to want to water this every day, keep it reliably moist, and that is going to be what's going to help these buds. This thing is going to come to you covered in buds. Mine arrived actually with one of the flowers open, and it was in the box. It had opened and then fallen off in the box. I'm telling you, I could smell it 2 rooms away before I even opened the box. It's that fragrant. But these flowers, this is the Aimee variety as well, which means you're going to get extra big flowers. The gardenia flowers normally are, maybe like 50-cent piece or quarter size. Yeah. These ones are more like 2 inches in diameter. So, big, chunky, those velvet, the flowers themselves, even if they didn't smell just utterly amazing, which they do, they're so pretty. They're just like this very elegant, almost velvet-like, bloom that is, you can float it in some water. You can do so much with it because they're just so pretty all by themselves, without anything else. And the buds themselves, I love the fact that those buds, they're just chunky, almost waxy. Yeah. They look so, satisfying. Those things are just ready to explode. Look at all of them on there.
There are so many buds. Now, this is the actual tree you will get. I'm gonna pull it over here so you can see. This is the tree. So when I got mine either last year or the year before. Mine is bigger, is twice the size of this one right now. And I've had mine for 2 years. But what I wanted to see, I don't know if you can see, this is a living tree. Look at the number of buds on this tree. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There are close to 20 buds on a tree that's coming to your house, which means you're gonna have 20 gardenia flowers right out of the gate, probably within the first 3 weeks. You're gonna have gardenia flowers coming out. Be patient with them. The buds have been out on mine for probably a couple of 3 weeks. They're very tight, they're wrapped very, very tightly. So it takes a bit for them to actually open up, but when they do, they explode with all these multiple layers. This is a trick that my son's girlfriend, Lily, it's funny her name's Lily, isn't it? Lily taught me, and she said, when you clip your gardenias and put them in a little bowl of water, and then you can bring them in the house and the entire room will smell like gardenia. Oh my gosh, it's such a great idea. And you get a little extra life out of your gardenias because gardenias are not really made for cut flowers, but they're perfect to put in a bowl like that. This is the tree you'll get. Season 1, you'll have it like this. Season 2, it'll get giant like mine. I anticipate and look forward to that scent, Rochelle, every year because there's nothing like it.
I know. Right? I can't wait for mine to bloom because we don't get this sort of scent. to me, the scent really reminds me of the tropics. And so I'm up here in Boston, being able to have something like this and, the fragrance just going throughout my house. When I move it out on the patio, it's going to be a few more weeks before I can move it outside. It's not quite warm enough yet, but I mean, it will smell up your whole patio. The bulk of the summer. They will then start to move in the fall when you should bring it back inside. They'll go into what we call a dormant stage. There's still going to be this beautiful head of foliage. So it's this nice topiary, what we call a standard shape. It's very decorative. It's a great houseplant. I had mine in the house all winter. It's great. But and then it'll bloom again. Mine one from last year is throwing out buds again for this year already too. I mean, it's just a nice sort of cycle to have these summer blooms, bring them out, and then bring it back in your house and have this beautiful plant all winter. I mean, it really is a lovely, lovely house plant.
I
with
love
just this nice head of foliage.
I'm showing everybody the different stages. Here's one right here, and you can see it's getting ready to bust. And then if you look at some of the others, here's one here also that's getting ready to come out. See, they kind of unwind a little bit. Kind of harder to see that one. And then this one that we showed you. Yeah, this one we showed you earlier is already popping. So this one will open up probably, I would say probably today or tomorrow. They're not like hibiscus, which is one and done. They will take a little bit longer and they'll last a couple of days. But I like bringing them inside. As soon as they're fully popped, I take a couple and bring it inside and then leave the rest on the patio to enjoy. $49.95 is our sale price. You get this tree that's about 4 or 5 feet tall. So this is what it'll look like at the end of 1 year. It'll get bigger every year. Rochelle, I haven't really had to do anything to maintain mine. I haven't trimmed it or anything. Is there any maintenance on it?
I haven't done that either, to be honest. I have just left it as it is, and nothing. I do give it a shake every once in a while because the leaves are all the way inside, and sometimes, after the old leaves, they get stuck inside of there. So I shake it just to get some of the dead leaves out every once in a while. But that's only because it's so dense that I do it that. I just don't want to pick them all out. But other than that, I don't do anything. You could trim it if you really are, kind of obsessive about it being perfectly round. But this has this nice, structure. They've already been pruned up into this standard shape, so you don't really have to, do anything to it. No. To be honest, I haven't had an issue.
You know what I do from time to time? I use your leaf and petal fertilizer. I don't know if we have that available in the show, but I use that.
Oh, I do.
It is absolutely brilliant. There are these little packets. You just stick them in a gallon of water, and I give it a little bit of food. We'll try to put that item number up for you. There is what a gardenia will look like when it's really, really popped up and it's open. Yep. And I am telling you, it is a fragrance. I probably don't have to tell you. You've probably all smelled a gardenia before. There's the leaf and petal food. You get those individual packets. You get 50 of them. I do it about every 2 to 3 weeks, so that 50 will last you months. And I pour it in probably like every 2.5 to 3 weeks. If you've got a tree that bears flowers or fruit, I have a fig tree as well. Then you want to give it a little help. That's all I really do. You got to water it anyway. You might as well just drop one of those little bags in there. It'll dissolve in the water and then pour it in. It's a smart way to do it. But I cannot get over the number of buds on these trees. I cannot get over the number of buds on the one we're sending you. This one, like I said, has at least 2 dozen buds on it. As soon as you put that in the ground and you let it get to the sun a little bit, those are going to start doing what the other one did. We have 500 of you have just picked it up. I am so excited for you. If it's all you could afford in the show today, it's a great thing. It's going to deliver so much. It's going to get so much bang for the buck. We have about a minute or so remaining. I'm going to let Rochelle kind of round it out and wrap it up, and then we'll close out the show. Go ahead, Rochelle.
Hey, the one thing that I haven't reminded you of is how fun this is. It is a tree, and it does come in a box, and opening up that box to have literally this head of foliage just kind of pop out is such a fun experience. So if you do have something coming up like Mother's Day or maybe a birthday or something that you are thinking maybe you might want to send a gift to somebody special, this is such a good gift. Just not only because it's a beautiful, gorgeous tree, it's such a substantial gift, but it just is that super fun out of the box experience to, literally have a tree arrive at your house. You pull it out of the box, and I mean, it is a legit substantial tree. Yeah. Pair it with a nice container, and it is just an amazing gift. that somebody's going to enjoy, not just, you know, in the short term, but for years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a really, really nice kind of gift.
I couldn't agree more. What a great gift to give to mom for Mother's Day, or give to dad, whatever you want to do, you can. 722-888, free shipping as always with all our plants. Rochelle, thank you so much. It's so good to see you. I will see you again, probably either next week or sometime in between. See you later.
Yeah, I'll see you soon.
All right, thanks, Rochelle.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, hey, and thanks everybody for joining us on our